The stars stretched endlessly across the black sky, silent and cold. Somewhere deep in this vast galaxy, a small human ship glided smoothly, almost invisible. It was tiny compared to the massive fleets humans had never faced before. Yet inside the ship, the crew moved with calm precision. They were aware of the danger but showed no fear. Far ahead, sensors on the human ship blinked with alerts. The readings were strange. Enormous ships approaching, hundreds of them, aliens. The human captain, a woman named Elara, stood at the helm. Her eyes scanned the glowing screens. She was calm, almost serene, but every muscle in her body was ready. "They are closing in," she said quietly. Her voice was steady, giving no hint of panic. Behind her, the crew murmured. "Just one ship," one of them said. "Do they really think we can handle them?" Elara didn't answer. She knew the aliens underestimated them. That mistake might save their lives. On the other side, the alien fleet moved like a dark storm. Ships shaped like jagged crystals shimmered with blue energy. The aliens spoke in clicks and hums that humans could barely understand. Their leader, Zirak, floated in his command ship, eyes fixed on the small human vessel. "Just one ship?" he said, his voice vibrating through the alien communicator. "Do they think this is all?" "Yes, Commander," a young officer replied. "It is alone. It should be easy to destroy." Zirak's claws tightened. He expected an easy victory. His mind could not even imagine a single human ship that could be dangerous. The aliens moved forward with confidence, their weapons charging. Inside the human ship, the crew worked in silence. Sensors showed the alien fleet approaching, and small warning lights blinked red. Elara studied every detail. "They don't know what they are up against," she said almost to herself. "And that's our advantage." Her second-in-command, a tall man named Rian, looked at her. "Are we really ready for this?" "There are hundreds of them, Captain." Elara smiled faintly. "They have never faced humans in real combat like this. We have something they don't expect." Ryan raised his eyebrows. "And that is patience," she said. "And strategy. We don't need to fight like they expect. We need to fight smart." The alien fleet closed in, their energy shields glowing ominously. They sent out a scanning pulse, trying to detect the human ship's weaknesses. But the human ship was small, sleek, and almost invisible on their sensors. The aliens frowned. Something felt wrong. "This ship, it hides itself well," said Zirak. "Can a single human vessel do this?" "Yes, Commander," the officer answered. "Sensors show minimal power output." "It seems weak." Zirak shook his head. "I don't like this. Prepare the attack, but be cautious. They might have tricks." Inside the human ship, tension was high but controlled. The crew knew they were outnumbered, but Elara had trained them for moments like this. Every crew member moved with precision, checking systems, adjusting shields, and preparing weapons. "Energy levels stable," said Ryan. "Shields at maximum." "Good," Elara replied. She turned to the communication screen and whispered, "Let them come closer. Let them think they are safe." As the alien ships approached, the human ship remained quiet, like a predator waiting in the dark. The stars reflected off the metal hull, making it almost invisible. The aliens were confident. They laughed in clicks and hums, mocking the tiny human ship. Zirak's eyes narrowed. "They are too small. This will be easy." But deep inside, a tiny spark of doubt grew. Something about the human ship seemed different. It didn't move like a normal vessel. Its sensors were almost silent. It didn't respond as expected. Minutes passed. The human ship drifted closer to the center of the star system, where a small asteroid belt provided cover. Elara's plan was simple. Let the aliens underestimate them, then strike when they least expected it. The alien fleet moved ahead, spreading out like a net, certain that the trap was theirs. Their weapons glowed bright, ready to fire. "Steady," Elara said. "Wait for my signal." Her crew nodded. Their hearts pounded, but they stayed silent, waiting. The humans' calmness was unnatural to the aliens. It confused them. Zirak watched his fleet. He had never encountered humans before, and he expected them to panic. But this one ship moved with confidence. Confidence that made him uneasy. "What are they planning?" he muttered. "One ship. How can it do so much?" The tension in space grew like a storm. Silence filled the void except for the faint hum of engines. The audience could feel the suspense. Something big was about to happen. Something the aliens did not expect. And then, at the last moment before the attack, Elara's lips curved into a slight smile. The humans were ready. The aliens were not. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the aliens' perception forever. But for now the humans remained quiet, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Inside the human ship, the atmosphere was tense but controlled. The crew moved with quiet precision, each person focused on their station. Small lights blinked across the control panels, casting green and blue glows on determined faces. Captain Ilara stood at the helm, her eyes fixed on the screen showing the alien fleet approaching. Hundreds of alien ships stretched across the dark void, shining like jagged stars. Their numbers were intimidating, yet she remained calm. Calm that hid the sharp mind working behind her serene expression. Rian, her second in command, leaned over a console. "Captain, they are closing in fast. Do you think they suspect anything?" Ilara shook her head slightly. "No. They are too focused on their own confidence. They think we are weak. That is their mistake." Ryan frowned. "They are hundreds. We are just one ship. Even with stealth shields and weapons, we are outnumbered. Don't you worry?" Ilara smiled faintly. "Worry doesn't help. Strategy does. And we have something they cannot see yet." The crew exchanged glances, curiosity and concern written on their faces. Humans had a reputation in the galaxy. Some feared them, some dismissed them, but nothing compared to the reality of facing a real alien fleet. The human ship moved carefully, sliding past asteroid fields, using the rocky terrain as cover. Sensors detected alien energy scans probing for weaknesses, but the ship remained almost invisible. Small bursts of electromagnetic pulses hid the vessel's location, making it harder for the aliens to target them. Ryan watched the sensors. "They are trying to find us, but they can't lock onto us fully." "How are we doing this?" Ilara's fingers danced over the console. "It's not just the technology," she said softly. "It's patience, timing, and observation. We wait for the right moment to show our strength." At that moment, a small alert flashed. A probe had passed near the ship and detected nothing. Ryan's eyes widened. "They almost found us." "If they did—" Ilara raised a hand. "They didn't, and they won't, not yet." Her voice was calm, almost soothing, but carried the weight of command. The crew trusted her judgment completely. In another section of the ship, the weapons officer, Mira, studied the alien fleet through targeting screens. Her fingers hovered over the controls, ready to fire. "Captain, if they attack now, we can only defend." "And we won't have the advantage," Ilara nodded. "Exactly. That is why we do not act yet. Let them make the first mistake. Humans are not strong because of weapons alone. We are strong because we think ahead, and we stay calm when others panic." Mira glanced at the fleet again. The aliens were massive, elegant in their cruelty. Their jagged hulls glowed with energy, and hundreds of smaller ships buzzed around them. The human crew could almost feel the weight of their firepower. But the tension was oddly quiet. Ryan returned to Ilara's side. "Captain, do you think they suspect us? That we might have a plan?" Ilara shook her head slowly. "They think we are alone. That we are weak. That is exactly what makes this possible. When they finally realize, it will be too late for them to react." The human ship glided closer to the center of the asteroid belt. Large rocks shifted slowly, giving them natural cover. The alien fleet moved with confidence, their scanners sweeping the area, certain the prey was just ahead. "Steady," Ilara whispered. "Do not make any sudden moves. Let them come closer. Watch and learn their patterns." Ryan's eyes narrowed. "Patterns?" Ilara nodded. "Every fleet has one. Their attacks, their formations, their confidence, everything can be predicted if you watch carefully. That is how humans survive when outnumbered." The crew worked silently, each aware of the importance of the moment. They didn't speak more than necessary. The ship hummed quietly, its engines smooth and precise. Every system was monitored, every possible outcome considered. A small red light blinked on the sensor screen. An alien scout ship had moved closer than expected. Ryan's heart skipped a beat. "They are almost here." Ilara's calm voice cut through his panic. "Good. Let them come closer. Their arrogance is our weapon." Mira adjusted the targeting controls. "Captain, are we really ready for this?" Ilara looked at her crew, her eyes firm. "We are always ready, not because we are stronger than them, but because we are smarter. Patience, observation, and timing. These are our weapons." They have hundreds of ships. We have one ship. That is the difference. Minutes stretched into long, tense moments. The alien fleet moved as expected, confident and arrogant. They laughed in clicks and hums, mocking the lone human vessel. Yet the human crew remained invisible, patient, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Rian swallowed hard, glancing at the fleet. They really think we are alone. They really think they will win. Ilara smiled faintly, almost unseen. Yes, and that is their mistake. That is all we need. The human ship drifted silently, almost a shadow among the asteroids. Outside, the alien fleet approached, unaware that their confidence would soon be shattered. The calm before the storm stretched in space, tension building with every passing second. The audience, watching from the outside, could feel the suspense. One ship against hundreds, humans underestimated, aliens overconfident, and the question lingered in every mind. What can one human ship do against an entire fleet? The silence of space was broken by the low hum of the alien fleet as it moved closer to the human ship. Hundreds of ships glinted in the starlight, jagged and menacing. To the alien eyes, victory seemed inevitable. Yet inside the human ship, the crew stayed calm, every hand ready, every mind focused. Captain Ilara stood at the helm, her eyes scanning the approaching fleet. "They are confident," she said softly. "Exactly how we want them." Ryan, her second-in-command, frowned. "Captain, they are so close now. If they attack, we'll be overwhelmed." Ilara's gaze didn't waver. "They are close, yes. But that is our advantage. Their arrogance blinds them. Watch carefully. Wait for the signal." The alien fleet spread into formation, jagged lines like claws reaching across the void. Their energy weapons glowed bright, and small scout ships flitted around the human vessel, trying to locate it. Zarak, the alien commander, floated in his command ship, eyes narrowed. "One ship? Alone, impossible," he muttered. His claws tapped a rhythm on his console, betraying growing unease. "Prepare the first strike. Do not underestimate it. But it should fall easily." Inside the human ship, Mira, the weapons officer, adjusted the targeting controls. Sensors detect multiple enemy vectors. "Their weapons are ready. They think we are exposed." Ilara nodded. "Good. Let them think we are weak. Let them act first." A small beep echoed in the control room. One of the alien scout ships had moved too close, within range. Ryan's hands shook slightly as he glanced at the screen. "Captain." "They're here!" Ilara's calm voice cut through. "Now engage the decoys." Instantly, the human ship released a series of small drones shimmering with faint light. The drones moved unpredictably, scattering across the path of the alien fleet. Sensors on the alien ships lit up. They misinterpreted the drones as multiple targets, thinking the humans had hidden reinforcements. "What is this?" A young alien officer clicked in confusion. "There are more ships, many more than expected." Zirak's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Just one ship should be here. What trickery is this?" The human ship remained still, almost invisible. Its engines hummed quietly, blending with the background of space. Then, as the aliens focused on the decoys, the humans struck. Small, precise energy pulses hit the nearest alien ships, disabling their engines without causing massive explosions. Rian's eyes widened. They're reacting too slowly. They can't adjust fast enough." Ilara's lips curved slightly. "Exactly. Keep observing. Let them make mistakes." The alien fleet was thrown into chaos. Their lines broke as they tried to target the drones, wasting energy on false threats. Small ships collided or spun out of control, and the humans watched almost silently, waiting for the right moment to act again. Zirak hissed in frustration. "This is not possible. One ship, one tiny human ship, is causing havoc in our fleet." "Yes, Commander," the officer replied nervously. "It is cunning. We did not anticipate this." The human ship moved with elegance, darting in and out of the asteroid belt. The pilots guided it carefully, avoiding collisions while taking maximum advantage of cover. Each move was calculated, each maneuver precise. It was not brute strength but intelligence that gave them the upper hand. Ryan leaned over Mira. "Captain, they are trying to regroup. We might be able to escape if we push forward." Ilara shook her head. "No, we don't escape. We make them realize their mistake. Hit only when necessary. We control the battle, not the other way around." As the minutes passed, the aliens grew more frustrated. Their confidence was shaken. The one human ship, small and alone, had turned the first attack into a trap. The humans had not fired massive weapons. They had not destroyed fleets. They had simply outsmarted the aliens. A particularly large alien cruiser surged forward, determined to crush the human ship. Its weapons locked on. The crew tensed. Mira whispered, "They're aiming at us now. Full attack." Ilara's calmness never wavered. "Time it perfectly, now!" The human ship unleashed a short, precise energy burst. The alien cruiser's engines sputtered, and it veered off course, crashing into an asteroid. Another small wave of energy pulses hit two smaller ships, knocking them out of formation. Ryan exhaled slowly. They're falling apart. One ship..." The Ilara nodded. "They underestimated us. That is their mistake, and it will cost them." Outside, the remaining alien ships paused, scanning the battlefield with growing unease. Zirak floated silently in his command ship, rage and confusion flashing across his eyes. "Impossible," he hissed. "It is only one. Just one ship. How can it—" The human crew remained calm. They did not celebrate. They did not speak loudly. They were still observing the enemy, waiting. The aliens, proud and overconfident moments ago, now questioned every move. Their perception of the humans was beginning to shift, slowly but surely. The battle was over for now, but the message had been sent. One human ship could not be ignored. One human ship could challenge hundreds. The aliens had underestimated them. And in the quiet of space, the human ship drifted, ready for the next move. The audience, watching the calm and clever humans, felt the tension peak. The small crew had turned the first encounter into a statement. Humans were not weak. Humans were smart, and humans were dangerous. The first clash had ended, but the tension in space did not fade. The alien fleet was scattered. Some ships damaged, others confused and uncertain. Zirak's massive command ship drifted in the middle, his eyes fixed on the small human vessel that had defied all expectation. Inside the human ship, the crew moved with calm efficiency. The brief skirmish had shown them the aliens' weaknesses. Now it was time to take advantage of it. Ilara stood at the helm, her gaze steady. "They are shaken," she said softly. "Not broken, but shaken. This is the moment we reveal ourselves." Ryan looked at her, puzzled. "Reveal ourselves? But, Captain, we're still outnumbered. Hundreds of them. How can we strike back fully?" Ilara's lips curved into a faint smile. "Because they do not know everything we have. And they never expected it. The human ship had more than just clever pilots and quick reflexes. It carried secret technology, hidden deep within its sleek hull. Miniature drones, adaptive shields, and energy decoys were only the beginning. The real weapon was strategy, the ability to predict and manipulate the enemy. "Activate the drones fully," Ilara commanded. Lights flickered across the control panels as tiny drones detached from the ship. They moved in precise patterns, invisible to alien sensors at first. Then slowly they began emitting energy signals that mimicked multiple human ships. The alien fleet scanners lit up, showing dozens of ships instead of just one. Zirak's eyes widened. "Impossible. There are more ships. Hundreds. No, it cannot be." The young officer beside him clicked nervously. "Commander, the readings... It's not one ship." "They are multiplying," Zirak hissed in frustration. "It is a trick. Focus your fire. Do not let them escape." Inside the human ship, the crew watched with calm focus. Mira adjusted targeting as the drones created illusions. "They are reacting, confused. Their formations are breaking." Ilara nodded. "Perfect. Keep the pressure subtle. Let them make mistakes. Patience wins this battle." The alien fleet scrambled to respond. Their massive ships fired energy pulses at empty space, wasting their power on illusions. Some collided, their movements erratic, unable to correct fast enough. One cruiser veered off course, nearly smashing into an asteroid, while another small fighter was disabled by the clever use of energy disruption. Ryan's jaw dropped. "Captain, they're falling apart faster than I expected. It's like we're controlling them without touching them." Ilara's eyes glinted. "Exactly. That is the power of strategy. One ship can be stronger than hundreds if it moves with intelligence." Zirak clenched his claws. "Stop them. Destroy that ship. Yes, Commander. His officers clicked in unison. They fired again, targeting the small human vessel directly this time. But the humans had anticipated this. Adaptive shields flared, absorbing the energy pulses. The ship twisted and darted among asteroids, invisible at the right angles, untouchable. The alien commander's frustration grew. Why can one ship survive every strike? Ilara's voice was calm over the comms. Because they never saw it coming. Even Ryan, who had worried about the odds before, felt a thrill of awe. Humans had no physical superiority, yet every move was precise. Every action predicted the aliens' reactions. They were not just fighting, they were teaching a lesson. The drones began a new maneuver. They fanned out, surrounding key alien ships. Energy signals made it appear that the humans had surrounded the fleet. Panic spread among the aliens. Their communication clicks became frantic. Ships collided or retreated. The once proud formation crumbled. Zirak growled. It cannot be one ship controlling the battlefield. The human ship moved smoothly, almost like it was dancing through space. Each movement drew the aliens into mistakes. Ryan whispered in disbelief, "Captain, they're scared." Ilara's calmness never wavered. Good. Fear slows judgment. Confusion multiplies it. Let them make the next mistake themselves. Minutes passed like hours. The alien fleet was in chaos, unsure where the real human ship was, unsure which attacks would succeed. Zirak watched, rage and fear battling inside him. The small human ship had revealed its full strategy without ever needing to fire maximum weapons. The crew worked silently, focused on precision. Every drone, every shield adjustment, every energy pulse was calculated. The humans were not just fighting, they were showing the aliens the power of intelligence and patience. Rian finally broke the silence. "Captain, they never expected this. One ship. Hundreds thought they would crush us, and now they're falling apart." Ilara's eyes glinted. "This is humanity. Strength is not always numbers. It is planning, patience, and precision. That is why they underestimated us. That is why we will survive." Outside, the alien fleet hovered in confusion and fear. The cracks in their formations grew. The humans had revealed themselves fully, not through sheer firepower, but through cleverness. One ship had turned the tide of battle without destroying the enemy completely. The alien fleet, once confident and proud, was now in chaos. Ships drifted off course, weapons misfired, and communication clicks were frantic. One human ship had managed what hundreds of ships could not. It had broken their formation, shattered their confidence, and made them question everything. Inside the human ship, the crew moved calmly, almost silently. Captain Ilara studied the alien fleet carefully. Every movement, every reaction was predictable now. They had made the aliens doubt themselves, and doubt could be more dangerous than any weapon. Rian leaned over a console, eyes wide. "Captain, they're trying to regroup, but it's failing. They don't know what to do." Ilara nodded. "Exactly. Confusion spreads faster than energy pulses. We don't need to destroy them all. We only need to make them realize they underestimated humans." Mira, the weapons officer, adjusted targeting systems. "Should we strike fully now?" Ilara shook her head. "Not yet. Let them falter a little longer. Fear weakens judgment. Let them make their own mistakes." Outside, the aliens panicked. Zirak's command ship hovered in the center of the chaos. His eyes glowed with anger and disbelief. One ship? How can it control us like this?" The officer beside him clicked nervously. "Commander, they are using something. Drones? Energy signals." "We cannot tell which are real and which are illusions," Zirak hissed. "It is impossible. No single ship could do this, and yet the humans had done it. One ship, moving with precision and intelligence, had turned confusion into a weapon. Every alien ship that tried to attack was either tricked, misdirected, or disabled by small calculated energy pulses. Ilara's voice cut through the quiet hum of the ship. "Ryan, Mira. It's time." Rian looked at her, questioning. "Time for what, Captain?" Ilara's calm gaze met his. "Time to finish what we started. Not with brute force, but with intelligence." The humans activated the next phase of their strategy. Drones flared and moved like coordinated stars, creating the illusion of multiple human ships surrounding the alien fleet. Energy pulses disrupted key engines. forcing alien ships into collisions with each other or with asteroids. The once proud fleet was now in disarray. Unsure which attacks would hit the real human ship, Ryan whispered, "They're—" Trapped by their own arrogance, Ilara nodded. Yes, they thought they were predators. Now they are prey. One ship, one crew has turned the tide. The aliens tried to counterattack, firing volleys of energy at what they thought were multiple human ships. But every strike was wasted. Shields adapted, energy signals misdirected the enemy, and the humans struck only when necessary, targeting critical systems. Slowly, the alien fleet began to lose control entirely. Zerak's massive claws pounded the console. "Stop this! Destroy the human, now!" "Yes, Commander." The officers clicked, panic rising in their voices. But it was too late. The humans had already set the trap. Drones moved unpredictably, forcing alien ships into collisions, while precise energy pulses disabled shields and engines. The aliens' formations crumbled completely, leaving only fragments of their fleet functioning. Ryan's voice trembled with excitement. "Captain, they can't even fight properly anymore." "One ship, just one." Ilara's calm smile never wavered. "That is the difference. They underestimated us. Never forget that." The human ship moved gracefully, almost like it was dancing through the chaos. Each move was calculated, each energy pulse timed perfectly. They did not need to destroy every ship. Confusion, fear, and precision had done the work for them. The aliens were forced to retreat, their pride shattered, their arrogance broken. Zerak's eyes narrowed. "Retreat. Fall back, regroup. We cannot lose to one ship." "Yes, Commander," the officers replied, clicks trembling with frustration. The fleet pulled away, leaving the battlefield in human control. Inside the human ship, the crew finally allowed themselves a small sigh of relief. The tension was still high, but victory was clear. One ship had survived, one ship had outsmarted an entire fleet, and one ship had turned the tide of the battle. Ryan turned to Ilara, awe in his eyes. "Captain, they thought hundreds would crush us. And we did it. With one ship," Ilara's eyes glinted. "One ship is more than enough when it has intelligence, patience, and courage. This is what it means to be human." Outside, the stars reflected off the small human ship. The alien fleet retreated, leaving behind silence and broken formations. The humans had proven their strength, not through numbers or brute force, but through cleverness, strategy, and calm under pressure. The galaxy would remember this day. One ship against hundreds, and yet humans stood victorious. One ship had made an entire alien fleet question everything they thought they knew. Ryan whispered, almost to himself, "One ship, one crew, and they will never forget us." Ilara's calm voice carried over the ship's comms. "No, they won't. And we must be ready because the galaxy is bigger than this battle. One victory does not mean the end, but one ship, one crew, can make the difference." The audience, watching from outside, felt the thrill of victory, the tension of the fight, and the pride of humans using their minds over sheer numbers. The stage was set for the final reflection, and the aliens' realization in the next part. The alien fleet had retreated. Silence returned to space, broken only by the low hum of the human ship. Stars stretched endlessly, cold and quiet, as if nothing had happened. Yet everything had changed. One human ship had survived against hundreds of alien vessels, had outsmarted them, and had turned their confidence into chaos. Inside the ship, the crew moved with careful calm. There was no celebration, no loud cheers. Victory had been earned through precision, intelligence, and patience, not through sheer force. Captain Ilara stood at the helm, her eyes scanning the quiet battlefield. Ryan, her second-in-command, broke the silence. "Captain, they're gone. The fleet. They retreated. We did it." Ilara nodded, her expression calm but proud. "Yes, they underestimated us. That is a mistake they will never repeat. And we must always remember, intelligence, courage, and patience can overcome numbers." Mira, the weapons officer, finally allowed herself a small smile. "I can't believe it. One ship against hundreds. And we survived. We actually controlled the battlefield." Ilara turned to the crew. "This is what it means to be human. Others may have more ships, more power, more technology, but humans have something different. We think, we adapt. We remain calm when others panic. That is why they underestimated us, and that is why we survive." Outside, the stars reflected on the ship's metal hull. Debris from disabled alien ships floated silently, small reminders of the battle. Zirak's massive command ship had vanished into the distance, and the remaining alien vessels followed. They had learned something valuable, albeit the hard way. Humans were clever, resourceful, and dangerous. Ryan shook his head in disbelief. One ship, one small crew, and we forced them to retreat. They actually feared us. Ilara's eyes glinted with quiet determination. Fear is not what we want. Respect is. And respect comes from actions, not threats. We proved that today. One ship is enough when it carries courage, intelligence, and unity. The crew looked around at each other, proud but reflective. They had survived not because of luck, but because every single member had done their part with precision and trust. Humanity's strength was not just in technology, but in collaboration, adaptability, and calm reasoning. In the distance, a faint signal appeared on the ship's sensors, a transmission from the alien fleet, weak and cautious. Zirak's voice crackled with frustration and realization. Humans. One ship, not to be underestimated. Ilara smiled faintly. They finally understand. It's a lesson they will never forget. But there is more to learn. The galaxy is bigger than one battle. One victory is not the end. It is only the beginning. Ryan nodded, understanding her meaning. We'll face more fleets, more challenges. But after today, I feel ready. Ilara turned her gaze to the stars. That is the difference. Humans do not back down even when outnumbered. Humans adapt, survive, and fight smart. That is why one ship, one crew, can face hundreds and still stand victorious. The ship moved forward, gliding silently through space.